Hello and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. Mwah. I know, I'm not Andrew, and nothing that I can do or say will ever take his place in your hearts. But I haven't forgotten you, my sweet internet friends, so let's take on the unrelenting hordes of chaos, or the control freaks, with some news for your pews. So last week, a judge in California ruled that switchy pokey boys are not protected arms under the 2A. But this week, the Massachusetts Judicial Supreme Court said they are protected. And that case centers around a dude who was arrested carrying a switchblade in Boston in 2020. What a great year that was. So autistic side note, it says an orange firearm-shaped object with a spring-assisted blade. I can only imagine what garden variety gas station pocket knife this dude was carrying around. I tried to find a picture of it, but I couldn't, so apologize. So here's a picture of some stupid knife that we'll just assume that was what it was. So the prosecutors dropped all charges except for the springy knife, and then the dude's attorney argued that switchblades are protected arms under the 2A and in common use for lawful purposes. Massachusetts then proceeded to argue the 2A doesn't cover knives as arms means firearms. I'm sure they were using a protected First Amendment quill when they wrote that, by the way.
No, not with your quill.
Since we're normally gun rights focused around here, I saw this pop up in multiple places and kind of was a little curious and I just had one of those moments like, what's the point? So I think it's good to look at this in a couple different contexts, one of them for legal precedent and the other one for look at England right now.
Great Britain. We're actually in Great Britain.
Stab.
Rant aside, if you look at what our future holds, if gun control does take hold here in the US, it's probably pretty accurate to what's happening in England right now. So really, what's the point? So the Massachusetts Gun Owners Action League goal, Executive Director Jim Wallace called the ruling a good decision, and he said that the language in the decision left a huge opening for potential challenge of state laws. So in the judge's ruling on that case, he said, we conclude that switchblades are not dangerous and unusual weapons that fall outside of the protection of the Second Amendment. All weapons are dangerous because they're designed for the purpose of bodily assault or defense, such as general dangerousness of a weapon is irrelevant when the weapon belongs to a class of arms commonly used for self-defense. In addition, he says, consequently, spring-loaded folding knives cannot be categorically prohibited just because they are, in everyday terms, dangerous. The judge sums it up saying that certainly, like handguns, switchblade knives are suitable for self-defense because they're rarely accessible. They can't be as easily redirected or wrestled away. I'm not sure where his thoughts are on that one. And they're easy to use, and they could be held with one hand while using the other hand to call for help on the phone. So I'm really not sure where the judge is going on that one at the end of the day. But I think this is positive, and here's to hoping that some legal precedent can be set across the aisle as far as knife and gun laws working together to promote an armed populace.
Guns for show, knives for a pro.
But it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Vortex. The new Defender line of red dots features a constant on emitter and shake awake features, so it's always ready. The Defender CCW is impressive for compact daily carry. The ST is a bit bigger, and the XL has one of the largest, most chunky windows available on a red dot for a pistol.
We've been running their new Defender line of red dots hard since before launch. They found a home on all of our guns, whether for concealment, competition, or anything in between. They're rugged, packed with features, and they flat out perform. With the CCW, ST, and XL, there's a dot for you. And let's not forget their no questions asked VIP warranty that covers just about anything.
And by Hydra, finally a platform AR and 9mm enthusiasts can agree on. The Mark 15 Hydra modular rifle can get you up and running right out of the box. Start off with the 9mm H5 modular style, which uses an MP5 mag, or go to the SMG 9C, which utilizes those good old straight Colt mags. Either way, it's an excellent start to build on Hydra's ever-growing system of magazine wells and caliber conversions. And by TMVC.com, the new Mars LC 2000mm laser rangefinder is in stock and ready to ship. It's a compact laser rangefinder packed with features including a built-in ballistic computer, Bluetooth, and a red aiming laser, as well as an IR ranging laser, which cannot be detected by most night vision devices. Check it out on TMVC.com for all the details. Seriously, that sounds cool. Not being able to be detected. I would love to mess with that. TMVC, just a side note. So road rage with firearms makes me cringe so hard. Most of you probably saw this video floating around the gun circles in the past couple weeks of an enraged Florida geriatric, Paul T. Slane, trying to meet his maker by getting out of his vehicle angrily while brandishing a handgun. Amazingly, and you got to give this dude credit on his level of self-control, because amazingly, the driver of the other vehicle did not give him the room temperature challenge and showed a monumentous amount of self-control while Slane aggressively reached in and attempted to strike him and slap the phone that was recording him down. Apparently he doesn't like to be recorded. So Slane earned 2 counts of aggravated assault with a weapon and an attempted armed robbery for the phone. So folks, I just want to take a moment to highlight how this incident could have gone easily awry. We talked about a story recently where a dude basically took 14 months to get acquitted and cleared of a case like this. So for 14 months, his life was turned upside down, legal battle, financial struggle, you name it. So regardless of who gets loaded in the meat wagon, this could have gone very differently. And I think we as armed, responsible citizens have a moral duty to carry and defend ourselves, while we also kind of have a moral duty to act right and conduct ourselves with class. Personal opinion. Would the driver have been legally covered if he chose to use self-defense?
I'm telling you right now. Pull that shit. You were the one that started it. Hey, man. I'm telling you right now. Give me the phone.
Is he dead?
Not yet.
Yes. I think it's pretty hard to make that case on the contrary, but he would have had his life turned upside down, faced significant legal and financial hurdles, and had to deal with the emotional turmoil on himself and his family at the end of the day. Bottom line, driving is dangerous and people are stupid. Don't be one of those people. On August 21st, U.S. District Judge John Brooms, a Trump appointee in Wichita, Kansas, threw out 2 charges of machine gun possession against Tamori Morgan, who was indicted last year, accused of possessing a Glock with the switch and a 300 blackout poverty pony converted to Google mode. Invoking the Bruin decision, the judge states the court finds the Second Amendment applies to the weapons charged because they are bearable arms within the original meaning of the amendment. Oh yeah, feels good. He added that the government has the burden to show the regulation is consistent with the nation's historical firearm regulation tradition. We love to see the courts focusing on Bruin and continuing to push for natural rights coast to coast. I really hope that the wave of Wish.com Glockerator buttons ends up pushing the envelope on how they will never put the genie back into the bottle. I'm always entertained to hear folks talk about how eliminating violence or how if we could only do X or Y would make a huge difference. This logical fallacy ignores the most base level fact about criminals. Laws just aren't really their thing. They'll always be criming, and stolen guns will always be involved in one way, shape, or form. So 6 dudes in California are responsible for over 300 guns stolen related to 9 separate burglary stories. Each time they used a stolen vehicle to ram the front of the storefront and then go in and take what they wanted, right? In California, where I'm pretty sure this is already illegal.
Must have made an impression.
This is just after another string of vehicle-related robberies that was reported on the previous day by Bearing Arms. So, bottom line, no background checks were conducted on any of these firearms. And the second attempt was in Ohio. That was done by teens who couldn't legally purchase a gun anyway. Folks, we have a crime and a culture problem, not a gun problem. And now, for your moment of Zen. Do you like pews and pew-related things? Do you want to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew-propaganda at the low, low price of free fitty? We literally could not pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid. Get yourself something nice for them. You deserve it. Andrew loves you, but I still think you're all right. Have a good day.